in general, it's a very exciting time to be in hardware, and with the technology supporting hardware. Connected devices are digitizing the physical world, and hardware is really that enabler. And so if you're familiar with that Gartner hype cycle, with IoT, we're past that big bump of inflated expectations and then the resulting hangover because a lot of these promises didn't come true. Basically, we've been around the block and we know what doesn't work. But we are also starting to see a lot of things that do work. There are many connected device companies now that are proving this, and that are worth billions of dollars. And there's really these three evolutions that have enabled this, the rise of IoT. There's the power of software, which is amazing. There's mobile devices. And then this latest development, which Josh touched on, is low-cost wireless communication. The price of wireless communication, or really a radio frequency modem, is now around $5 or less at a medium scale. The lower the cost of a connected device, the more places it makes sense to install. And we've seen an example of this before. When cell phones first launched, they were so expensive that only a small percentage of people could use them. But as the cost of cell phones dropped, literally everyone in the world was able to use them. And the coolest part about that was that the value a cell phone could provide exponentially increased as more and more people started using them. And so we're seeing the same phenomenon now with connected devices. The lower the cost, the more problems they're able to solve. And the most valuable contribution of connected devices, and I think the thing that some of these initial devices got wrong, or not wrong, but the most significant thing are these new structured data sets that the devices generate from the physical world. And this is so significant because structured data is what software runs on. Now we're able to apply the power of software to the physical world problems because we have the data that describe them. And we have the mobile devices with apps to communicate that near real-time information to the people who supply and maintain the world and really make it run. And so it's essentially a superpower for these people, helping them do their jobs better and backing them up with a second set of eyes. And we're really just scratching the surface. What we're seeing is there's almost an unlimited opportunity in the market. If we only think about operations and distribution, the two most important goals are uptime and efficiency. And so think about how much better uptime and efficiency could be if you're able to monitor every point in your process, and know immediately when something goes wrong, understand if it was anomalous or if it was an existing pattern, and then use that data to learn about each failure and use software to predict the next failure if it follows a pattern to completely avoid a failure. And so, this is happening now. It's no longer this, it will happen, it's happening now. And it's accelerating because the cost to value for connected sensors is a no-brainer when you think about how valuable a human's time is. And in the gas industry, there are so many greenfield opportunities we're seeing due to its high cost of service. A truck stop costs between $50 to $100, really, any way you look at it, by the time you consider the truck cost, the driver cost, fuel, and insurance. And so right now we're working with over 100 gas distributors, and we've learned that even the most efficient distributors still make 30 to 50% more stops than necessary. And so if you put that in context, a gas distributor's cost to distribute is generally 40 to 50% of the top line revenue. So that means 15 to 20% of their top line revenue could drop to the bottom line if they made no unnecessary stops. Now, that's not possible. 100% efficiency is impossible. But the size of the opportunity is mind-blowing. And I don't think there's really any other opportunity to increase profitability by that magnitude right now. And so, the way you get there is connected devices to generate the structured data, use software to analyze that data, and then use that to optimize your operations.